Being are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Saina, Aditya, Anirudh, Krishna Chaitanya, Mukund, Sanvi, Sai Vedas, Shaurya, Dikyat. Welcome all of you. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Okay, so we will start with the prayers. So, what's coming up this weekend? Yes, and after that?
Janmashtami.
After that?
Prabhupada
Appearance Day.
Very good. And after that?
Is it Radhashtami?
Radhashtami. Very good. And after that?
Ekadashi?
Yeah, Ekadashi comes every time. And after that is Govardhan Puja. After that is Diwali. So we all have festivals every month almost. But the special festival is our two main festivals are Janmashtami and Gaur Purnima. So we are approaching Janmashtami. So you can all pray to Krishna, do more service, more chanting. You can read Krishna book. Okay. So let's start with prayers. Please tell with me. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupaya Krishnastaya Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Bhakti-Deshatarine Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Okay, so I want to pick one of you to chant 21 times with unmute, and the others would chant the same with your mute buttons on so that we can clearly hear and chant. So when we are chanting, what do we pray in the heart?
Oh Krishna, please, oh Radharani and Krishna, engage me in Krishna's devotional service.
Yes. Oh Krishna, oh energy of Krishna, please engage me in your devotional service. Okay, and so when you chant, what do you hear? What should you hear?
The mantra.
The mantra. Okay. So what you should not hear?
Anything else?
Other distractions.
Yes. The mind will anyway run. Like suddenly when you're chanting, maybe before this you played some Minecraft game or what's that? Brawl Stars or something, and then the mind suddenly would run there. Or you may have had a fun day yesterday in the weekend. You might have gone out and the mind would run there. So what will you do if the mind thinks about all different things while chanting?
Get your focus back on chanting and try and focus on hearing the
You won't
mantra.
focus on chanting.
Focus on hearing the mantra.
Yes, Saina, thank you. And I think others also answered. Yeah. So when the mind runs, bring it back. If it runs again, bring it back. Runs again, bring it back. Runs again, bring it back. So by bringing it back again and again and again, then it will start to stay more steady. Okay. So I wanted to ask if Lakshmi Priya, do you want to chant 21 times without mute and everyone can say with you?
Me, Mataji?
Yes, Lakshmi Priya.
Okay.
We are chanting 21 times the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay?
Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Wonderful, Lakshmi Priya. It was so nice. You chanted very slowly, steadily, listening to each and every mantra. Very good. It was so nice to chant with you. And did you all chant? Everyone chanted?
Yes,
I did.
Yes. You know what? We should
Yes,
all
Mataji.
practice this every single day. Every single day you chant with great enthusiasm. And with practice, with focus and attention, then you can feel the happiness when you chant, right? Every one of you have this experience, right? When we chant together, after that we feel calm, we feel very peaceful, right? Because the mind is constantly thinking something or the other, something or the other. Even when we are sleeping, the mind is active and thinking. But during chanting, we are pulling back the mind to hear only the holy name. And so that's why we feel that great relief if we chant with attention. Okay, so we are doing the 108 important verses. And we did the 12th chapter, and then now we are in the 13th chapter. What is the heading of the 13th chapter?
Nature, the enjoyer, and the consciousness.
Thank you, Prahlad. Nature, enjoyer, and consciousness. So in that we are doing texts 8 to 12. This is called the knowledge verses. So Krishna is saying what is knowledge, and apart from this, whatever there is ignorance. So each week we will memorize one verse. The last week we did text 8. So can anyone recite the text 8?
This is Prahlad, can I?
Yes, Prahlad.
Okay. Amanitvam madambitvam ahimsa shantirajavam acharyopasanam saucham stairyam vinigraha.
Thank you, Prahlad. That was very nice. Anybody else?
Can I go, Mataji? This is Saina.
Yes, Saina.
Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa shantir arjavam acharyopasanam saucham stairam atma vinigraha.
Very good, Saina. Krishna Chaitanya.
Okay, Mataji. Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam saucham staryam atma vinigraha.
Are you okay, Krishna Chaitanya? Your voice is so hoarse.
Yeah, I had cold.
Are you okay now?
I'm feeling better.
Okay. Take care. Okay. And Anirudh.
Yes, Mataji. Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa kshantirajam acharyopasanam shosham stairyam vinigraha.
Very good. Varun.
Amanitvam madambitvam ahimsa shantirajavam acharyopasanam saucham stairyam vinigraha.
Wonderful, Varun. Very good. Okay. So we'll go to the next verse. We still have some qualities in this verse to complete. Amanitvam adambitvam. Okay, I'm going to ask you the Sanskrit or English, and you're going to tell me what the other one is from the verse 1. Okay. Shaucham.
Saucham is cleanliness.
Cleanliness.
Saina gets the first point. Steadiness.
Very
good. Stairyam. Many people do.
Yes.
Self-control.
Atma vinigraha.
Good job, Prahlad. Non-violence.
Ahimsa, Mataji.
Good job, Sanvi. Arjavam.
Simplicity.
Okay, good job, Krishna Chaitanya. Adambitvam.
Pridelessness.
Good job, Prahlad and Anirudh. Okay. Appointing a bona fide spiritual master.
Acharyopasanam, Mataji. Acharyopasanam.
Good job, everyone. Good job. Self-control.
Atma vinigraha.
Good job, Krishna Chaitanya. Atma Vinigraha. Okay. So let's do the verse first, and then we will finish the rest. We only did till simplicity the last week. So we are going to continue from Acharya Pasanam, Atma Vinigraha. and we'll do the next verse also. But first we will do the shloka now. Okay, repeat after me. Indriyarteshu vairagyam.
Indriyarteshu
Vairagyam.
Indriyarteshu vairagyam.
Indriyarteshu vairagyam.
Indrayarteshu vairagyam.
Anahankara eva cha.
Ahankara eva cha.
Okay, repeat only once after I say. Okay. Anahankara eva cha.
Anahankara eva cha.
Anahankara eva cha.
Anahankara eva cha.
Indriyarteshu vairagyam.
Indriyarteshu vairagyam.
Anahankara eva cha.
Anahankara eva cha.
Janma mrityu jara vyadhi.
Janma
mrityu jara vyadhi. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. Dukkha doshanudarshanam. Dukkha doshanudarshanam. Dukkha doshanudarshanam. Indriyarteshu vairagyam. Anahankara eva cha. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. Dukkha doshanudarshanam. Okay, I want maybe one or two to try and say the shloka. We don't have much time.
Can I say Mataji?
Can I say?
Mataji?
Oh.
Can I say Mataji?
Mataji can Varun.
Okay,
This is
Prahalad, Sanvi and Varun.
Me Mataji?
Wait, at the end I'll give you. I mean, we don't have chance. When we come back, time now, when we are done, the rest can chant the verse.
This is
Prahalad.
Okay. Indriyarteshu vairagyam anahankara eva cha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam.
Very good, Prahalad. Sanvi.
Indriyayirtaveshu
Vairagyam.
Vairagyam anahankara iva cha janma mrityu jara vriddhi dukkha dosha dudarshanam. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Okay, Varun.
Indriyarteshu vairagyam anahankara eva cha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam.
Very good. Okay, so let's see what it means. Okay, we are reading the whole thing. So, Sai Vedas, can you read from humility up to... yeah, from humility up till false ego. Sai Vedas. Five Vedas.
Okay, Mataji. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego.
Thank you. Okay. Who else is it? Anirudh, do you want to read from the perception of the evil after events?
Okay, Mataji. The perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, ever-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Anirudh. Okay, Krishna Chaitanya, can you read detachment from detachment?
Detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization. In philosophical search of absolute truth, all of these are, I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance.
Krishna is clearly telling knowledge means these items starting with humility, pridelessness, non-violence, right? So this is what we saw the last time. So we saw what was humility, what is the same thing as pridelessness, then non-violence, tolerance, and simplicity. So humility means that one should be very humble. And Lord Chaitanya said, what is the verse? Lord Chaitanya said,
Pranadapi sunichena
Pranadapi
karorapi sahitna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadaharihi.
thank you all very much. So see, that's what we saw, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was very humble. We saw how Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis were most humble, and how King Prataparudra was cleaning with a broom the path before Rath Yatra. Although being a king, he was like accepted a thing of sweeper. Then we saw that how non-violence means not putting others into distress. So already people are suffering. So, but when people are suffering, if we don't do anything about it, that is non-violence. So, sorry, that's violence. So we need to go and tell people about Bhagavad Gita, about what Krishna says, ask them to chant, and so they will get some relief. So that's what Narada Muni was doing. He went everywhere and he preached to not only human beings, even demons and many different species of life also. So tolerance means one should be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others. So when a person, when we are following spiritual life, or even just by living in this world, you will get a lot of insult and dishonor from others. Everyone has this experience, right? That's the nature of this world. So there is no exception to that. But then here tolerance means he says that we need to be practiced to bear that. See how Prahalad Maharaj, see no one can do what Hiranyakashipu did to Prahalad Maharaj, but still Prahalad Maharaj was very tolerant. He was not at all angry at his father. Then we saw how simplicity means one should be so straightforward and disclose the truth even to an enemy. So Prahalad said to Hiranyakashipu that you are my father, but then the same source of power as my source is the same as yours. So Lord Vishnu is the supreme Lord. He said with no fear, he just told it straight to Hiranyakashipu. Same way we saw how Vibhishana told to Ravana, if you don't give back Sita, you are doomed. Along with you, all of us are doomed, but he wouldn't listen. So the next item is approaching a bona fide spiritual master. Saina, can you read this?
Yes, Mataji. Approaching a bona fide spiritual master. As for acceptance of the spiritual master, that is essential, because without the instruction of a bona fide spiritual master, one cannot progress in spiritual science. One should approach the spiritual master with all humility and offer him all services, so that he will be pleased to bestow his blessings upon the disciple.
Okay, so my question is, why should we accept a spiritual master?
Without the
Because then we can have
instruction of a
guidance.
bona fide spiritual master, one cannot progress in the spiritual science.
Yes, one cannot progress in the spiritual science at all without the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master. It's very hard to progress in the spiritual science. Even if you're having you have different teachers for different subjects, right? When you grow to higher subjects, when you are in kindergarten and first grade, there will be one homeroom teacher and then maybe one other teachers. But then when you grow, like go to 4th grade or 5th grade, then you come to middle school, you have to go to different classes for different lessons on different subjects. So we see that even for material education, we need to learn from a teacher. Even if you are in online school, also you learn from a teacher, or if that is fully automatic, then they would have put it in the video. So somewhere, if anything, to learn anything, a teacher is required. Then you may say, oh no, sometimes I watch the cooking shows in YouTube video, and I know like Lakshmi Priya made very nice khaja for Jagannath Rath Yatra. So you might say that, oh, I learned it from YouTube video. Yeah, but then someone has put in there, right? Made the effort to put it there. So again, we are learning from a person, arts, science, and all the subjects. So without a spiritual master's instruction, then it's not possible. One cannot progress in spiritual science, because the spiritual master knows what we are capable of, what service we should do according to our nature. Then he says that, you do this service, and then we know, then when we try and do that again and again, we try hard to do that, then we can progress. Can you give an example? Who's there in the picture here?
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada getting initiation from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Yes, Sanvi. So Srila Prabhupada getting initiation from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So what instruction of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that Prabhupada, that guided Prabhupada?
Print books.
Hare Krishna
Print
is
books.
Go to the west, spread the Krishna consciousness.
Hare
Countries,
Krishna
Go to the
is
west and spread
the
Krishna
west.
You have good
Spread
English
Krishna
to spread
consciousness in the Western
Krishna
world.
consciousness in Western countries.
Yes, very good. So he said that, actually he said that you preach this message of Lord Chaitanya Dev in English. And then he always wanted one more instruction he gave.
Print books wherever you go.
Yeah, to print as many books with as much as money as you
Print as many books as your money allows.
Yes, you see. So produce books in all different languages and print them. That's what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's instruction was. So Srila Prabhupada, even when he was very old, he tried hard. He did not give up. He was not getting success in the beginning. He had no money and he had to depend on someone to live. Then he had to keep on changing places. But he did not give up. You see how the spiritual master's instruction has guided Srila Prabhupada, and because of that, we have all this knowledge here now. We have Bhagavad Gita, we have Bhagavatam, we have the chanting of Mahamantra. Otherwise, if Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had not given that instruction to Prabhupada, still Prabhupada would have gone back to Godhead because he's a pure devotee. But we all would have missed this. So that's why a spiritual master is very important, who's living Not that you can connect to Lord Chaitanya yourself or to Prabhupada. That's not our philosophy. We need a person who's living, and he also needs to accept us as his disciple. And then he would give us instructions based on our own swabhava nature. Then when we execute it, we can attain progress in spiritual science. Okay. What should be the mood of a person who's accepting a spiritual master?
Be humble.
Humble, Mataji.
He should be
Humility.
humble, and he should have the attitude to go and preach.
Okay.
He has to be humble and be humble towards the spiritual master and be ready to serve.
Very good. Okay, so you have to be humble. Can you explain what is humble towards a spiritual master means?
Humble towards the spiritual master means like being respecting him a lot and not arguing with him, just following what he says.
Okay, that's one part of it. Okay, following what he says. And
you shouldn't like question anything, because the spiritual master probably knows more than you.
yeah, so if he knows more than you, then he can enlighten you. So in fact, it says that you need to ask him questions that he would be happy to answer. So that questions can be asked, which explains the philosophy more. Okay, suppose the spiritual master, you're very hungry that day. For example, the disciple is very hungry. The whole day he has not eaten. If the spiritual master doesn't give you, say you come and eat, the disciple doesn't eat. That day he starves. But he doesn't complain. And then if he sees that the spiritual master is giving more mercy, or relatively somebody is getting more mercy, more service, he doesn't complain. Oh, why him? Why not me? So complete humility means you're serving with all your meekness and humbleness to the spiritual master. And sometimes the spiritual master is testing our tolerance, how tolerant we are, how patient we are. He is helping us grow that. So we don't argue, we don't challenge, or we don't, nothing for us. The disciple is doing everything for the spiritual master. That is the mode of humility. Okay. And what happens to the disciple when he offers all services to the spiritual master in a humble mood?
Then he will
The
be able
spiritual master will bestow all blessings upon him, and Krishna will also be pleased.
to tell.
Yes, Sanvi and Saina, yes. So the spiritual master will be pleased, and then he will give the blessings. So blessings is very, very important. Without the blessings of the spiritual master, we cannot understand the spiritual science. Instructions is one thing, and blessing, okay, I bless you, because the spiritual master is capable. Some things is very small. For him it is small, for us it is a huge problem, and we don't know how to cross over it. But then spiritual master is much elevated in consciousness, so he knows. And then if he says, okay, I bless you so that you can overcome this obstacle, then we will be able to overcome very quickly. So in order to please and get the blessings of spiritual master, we have to serve with
Humbleness.
Love
yes,
and devotion.
humility, yes.
Humility.
Yes, in fact, Srila Prabhupada says that this is very important, that once you do this, once we accept the spiritual master, then everything else will fall in place. So in ISKCON, how do you accept the spiritual master? Do you know?
Harinam Diksha.
By taking Harinam Diksha. So some spiritual masters has something called aspiring ceremony. So even if you are not up to the mark of chanting 16 rounds also, but you can choose someone as your spiritual master even when you're chanting 1 or 2 rounds, And then slowly you can increase to 16 rounds. Very good. But for taking Harinam Diksha, you have to chant 16 rounds.
Mataji, I have heard that from 1 year before you're going to take Harinam Diksha, you have to chant 16 rounds.
Yes, without fail. Not even one day we should miss. Why? Tell me why.
Commitment to the spiritual master.
Sorry?
Commitment to the spiritual master.
Commitment to the spiritual master. Okay. And we should also prove that we are going to promise for life, right? Sometimes it is good, sometimes it is bad. Some days are good, some days are bad, some days are terrible. But whatever it is, we have to chant 16 rounds. That is our promise. So we need to prove to the spiritual master by chanting 16 rounds without fail 1 year, so that we are proving that I am eager to do this. And by your blessings, I'll be able to do that. Okay? So you all should plan for this. This is like spiritual graduation. You're planning for your graduation, right? So this is, they put your batch will graduate in 2030 or 2028, depending on what grade you are in now. So like that way, this is spiritual graduation. So, but suddenly, can you graduate in one day?
No.
No, Mataji.
So how many years do you study to graduate high school?
One.
I don't know.
High school.
No, I mean like how? What's high school?
Four.
Four.
Okay, to enter into high school, what's the qualification?
Finish middle school.
Finish middle school.
Yes. So to enter
Passing
into
middle
middle school, what's the qualification?
Finish
Finish
elementary.
elementary.
Passing elementary school.
Yes. So basically, to graduate from high school, you should have done elementary, middle, and high school, which is total of 12 years, right? 1 to 12, and then sometimes kindergarten, and then first grade. So 1 to 12 years. So if when you're going into kindergarten and you're telling someone that you're giving a boy who goes to the kindergarten, the 12th grade exam, what will happen to him? Will you be able to do it?
Not at all.
No.
You
Yes.
fail.
Not it.
Yes, and he'll be scared. So similarly, you should all try to slowly chant, and every 6 months or so, you should increase your number of rounds. Like, for example, a good way I have heard is if you're in 4th grade, then you chant 4 rounds. If you're in 7th grade, then you chant 7 rounds.
Mataji,
Mhm.
I am going to 6th grade and I chant 10 rounds.
Very good. Who's that?
Mukund.
Mukund, I'm very proud of you, Mukund. Yes, that's like how you say that if you're very intelligent, you skip the grade, right? That's very good. So like this, at the minimum is you chant the number of rounds, your grade, according to your grade. And then if you're able to chant more, you can chant. So why is that? So that slowly you get practice, like how to graduate from 12th grade, you slowly every year you study and then you practice. So similarly, you practice chanting to graduate. Yes. So this is the most important thing. So the next one is cleanliness. Do you remember what is cleanliness in Sanskrit?
Shuddhata? No, that's in Hindi.
No.
Oh yeah. Styria.
No.
Shoucham.
Who said that?
Vikyas.
Very good, Vikyat. Shaucham. Yes, Shaucham is cleanliness. Okay, so Mukund, can you read this?
Yes, Mataji. Cleanliness is essential for making advancement in spiritual life. There are 2 kinds of cleanliness, external and internal. Mataji, do I keep reading on?
Okay, thank you. Shaurya, can you read the next paragraph?
Which one is we're on the second one?
Yeah, the second one. You can finish the slide. You can read everything.
Okay, extra cleanliness means taking a bath, but for internal cleanliness, one has to think of Krishna and always chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This process cleans the accumulated dust of past karma from the mind.
Yes, you see, when you chant, what happens is the dust in the mind is cleansed. The past karma from the mind is cleansed, and that's why we feel relieved. Even new people, when they start chanting, if they chant with Krishna and the mind, then they say, wow, I feel so calm, I feel so peace. That's because of this. Okay. What should we do for external cleanliness? Oops, it's
Take
not.
bath, Mataji.
Take bath once in a week?
Every
Once
day.
a day.
Every day.
Every day.
Okay, in the summer you can even take bath twice a day. Okay.
Mataji,
And
sometimes in the summer I've taken bath like 4 times a day.
good job. Yes. Okay, so only taking bath, what else?
Wearing fresh clothes.
Okay, and
Brushing your teeth.
yes, very important. Every day, brush your teeth, take bath, put on fresh clothes, help your mommy in putting a laundry, right? And then keep your room clean and tidy. If your friend comes over and then you both play many board games and Lego pieces, then what you do?
Clean it
After
back
the
up.
Clean them up.
clean them up. Yes, very important to always keep the surroundings clean, to see if our hands are clean. You see, they say now there is coronavirus all over. What are they recommending us to do?
Wash your
Wash
hands.
your hands every day.
Wash your hands. Always
Wash
in
hands
India,
up.
when you come back from outside, wherever you come, you wash hands, you wash the legs, and you wash your mouth. So these are the things through which the virus can go. And then you can take some steam every day, you can goggle. So basically, cleanliness means it has to keep on going. It's not that, oh, one day I took a bath, I'm fresh. So tomorrow I don't need to take a bath. Tomorrow again you get dirty, right? So every day, external cleanliness is very, very important. Even if you grow big and you go to college, and if you see that the other friends are not taking bath, they're coming, they're not even brushing the teeth. I mean, it's possible there are kids like that, but you don't give up your principles, because this is very important. This is knowledge. Krishna says that if you are clean, then you are in knowledge. If you're not in clean, if you're dirty, then you are in ignorance. Okay. Internal cleanliness. How does it come?
Chanting Hare Krishna, Hare
Chanting.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Yes, just like we take a bath every day to the body, we take a bath every day
To
to
the mind.
the mind. Yes, otherwise the mind is not cleansed. More garbage, more garbage, more garbage. If the house is not vacuumed and cleaned and the garbage is not put out, then what will happen?
Then
Garbage will fill the house, right? Similarly, mind is full of garbage, not only from this life, from many lives. So that's why we need to take to the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every single day without missing. Okay, so that is steadiness. Doing the something every single day without missing is called steadiness. Okay, what is steadiness in Sanskrit from the shloka?
Stadium.
Stadium.
Thairyam. Yes. Yes, Thairyam. Do you know who are these two people?
Jagadananda, Madhavananda, Brahma.
And who are they before?
Jaga and Madhai.
Yes. You see, Jagai and Madai, they became completely devotees and they started chanting the holy names of the Lord every single day. They served the devotees in the ghat by building a bathing ghat, by so much. Although their nature was very sinful, they used to do everything. But then once they got the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, they completely changed. And then they made progress because of steadiness. They did not go back to their old ways again. Right? It was very easy for them to go back, but they stuck to the Bhakti Yoga. They were chanting. You know how much they were chanting?
64 rounds?
Yes, 100,000 names, which is 64 rounds a day. That much Jaga and Madai were becoming devotees every single day. So without such determination, we cannot make progress. Oh, it's okay. Today I'm so tired. I cannot chant. Today my friend has come and we have gone to Disneyland, so I'll not be able to chant. Today we are going to Niagara Falls this summer. So the whole day I was enjoying, so I cannot chant. Is that good?
No.
No, Mataji.
No,
You should
Mataji.
just wake up early and chant.
Yes. So how do you chant even when you have when you're going to picnics, when you're going to your day?
Wake up early or make time.
So suppose you did not wake up early.
You can chant in the car.
Yes, I'm sure.
No, you should chant when
Mataji,
you're
I
like,
always chant in the car.
Yes, see, very good. So you should be determined. Whatever comes in the day, I have to chant this. So even if you're with relatives, sometimes you go to a fun picnic or something with your relatives or friends who may not be devotees, but still you don't mind. You can say that, oh, I have promised to chant 1 round every single day or 4 rounds every single day. So excuse me, I'm going to chant this and then we can continue to play. So when you chant like this, even the others seeing that, they will also chant. So that is determination, right? Without determination, we cannot make progress. So if you water the plant, like 2 days before I was busy, I didn't water the plants, and today I went, all the plants are, the leaves have grown like this, there is no flowers and it's very dry. So if I water the plants once in a week only, and then I don't water every day, will the plants grow nicely?
No,
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 not at all.
no.
No.
Right? It won't grow,
No,
right?
Mataji.
Because they need that to survive. It's their food.
Exactly. So this is the food for the soul. Chanting is the food for the soul. So every day, like you water the plants, like that way you water the bhakti creeper. So by chanting steadily with, and if you're steady, if you make up your mind, oh Krishna, I want to do this, then Krishna will help you. Okay, so that is steadiness. So Krishna says steadiness is knowledge. Okay, final thing, self-control. Let those who have not read so far or not answered any question, let me check. Who's that? Vikyat, do you want to read? Who's Padma Priya?
I can read Mataji. This is
I can read
Vikyas.
Mataji.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, Vikyat, first paragraph.
Okay, Mataji. And self-control means that one should not accept anything which is detrimental to the path of spiritual progress. One should become accustomed to this and reject anything which is against the path of spiritual progress. This is real renunciation.
Yes. Can you give me a situation where you have to have self-control?
When someone bullies you,
Yes.
Maybe like when your friends are going to a party and you have to chant your round.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Or like
when you're dancing or swimming, you have to have self-control on your body.
Right.
When like items with meat or egg are offered, you need to decline because we know we cannot eat those items.
Wonderful, Aditya. Very, very good. Yes. That happens quite often when you're in school and there's a birthday party and they're giving you, it's so enticing. The cake is decorated with fabulous frosting and there is decoration and it is so yummy to look at, but the cake has eggs. So what should we do?
We should decline it and have
we should not
self-control.
eat
it.
because
Not take
if it
it.
has eggs, we should not eat it because it has eggs.
Yes, we should decline and you say, I'm sorry, I don't eat eggs. So if you do a sacrifice like that, Krishna is watching from within your heart. And you'll be so surprised the next day or the day after, your mom will make a better cake. Or you'll go, somebody from the temple, they will have a birthday and they will give you the cake. So Krishna is so reciprocative like that. So that is
Or
self-control.
Mataji, you might get something even better like cake. Like you might like ice cream better than cake, and you might get that.
Yeah, right. So whatever, even you can get better than what you have given up. But we should be very careful to avoid anything which is against the path of spiritual progress. Okay. Who can read the next?
This is Prabhupada. Can I read?
Can I read, Mataji? This is
Can Saina read, Mataji?
This is Prabhupada. Can I read?
Okay, Sanvi, you can read the first three lines, and Prahalad, you can read the next.
Okay,
Mataji, I also wanted to read. This is Saina.
Okay, I will give you the next slide. Okay, Saina? Yeah, Sanvi, go ahead.
The most important and the uncontrollable sense is the tongue. If one cannot control the tongue, then there is very possibly a possibility of controlling the other senses. The function of the tongue is to taste and vibrate. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sanvi. Hare Krishna. Prahalad?
Yeah. Okay. Therefore, by systematic regulation, the tongue should always be engaged in tasting the remnants of foodstuff offered to Krishna and chanting Hare Krishna.
Yes, you see. So what is the most difficult sense to control, Pavitra? Pavitra, okay. Varun.
The tongue?
Yes. Can you explain this little more? How is it difficult to control?
It's difficult to control because like at school we gave an example of how they might be serving something that has eggs or gelatin or something like that. You have to decline even though your mouth is gonna like want it like a lot. You can't really control how much it's gonna want it, but you have to decline no matter what.
Okay, very good, Varun. Very good. Yes. And sometimes some people, we don't want to speak some bad words or we don't want to get angry and speak, but the tongue is very uncontrollable. So that's why it is said that if we control the tongue, then it's possible to control all the other senses. Okay, what are the two functions of the tongue, Saina?
Okay, the functions of the tongue is to taste and to like vibrate and move.
Okay, so vibrate is like when you talk. So how do you think taste can be engaged in Krishna's service?
Eating the remnants of foodstuff.
By
left-
eating
The remnants?
by eating prasadam.
Yes, by eating prasadam only, as much as possible. Okay, and how do we engage the vibration of the tongue in Krishna's service?
Chanting
singing Krishna's
about
names.
Singing Krishna?
Singing about Krishna and chanting Krishna's holy name.
Yes, chanting and singing, and also when you talk to your friends, when you preach to someone new, then you know about Krishna, or they're asking a question, hey, why are you not eating egg? Why are you vegetarian? Who is Krishna? Then you explain. That's also engaging the tongue in Krishna's service. So I think we are already out of time. So we will stop here. And today I did not prepare Kahoot, but I'm going to ask you some questions. And you can type the answers in the chat box. Okay?
Okay.
So let me see who says the answers first.
Mataji, the chat is disabled.
Oh,
No, chat is not disabled.
It is chat disabled.
For me, it is disabled, Mataji.
No,
For me, I can see. Yeah, I can see the chat.
yes. Can you, who can chat?
No,
Type
but
in
I
the
There's
chat.
such a
Nobody
nigger.
I
can.
can,
You can
Mataji.
see
I
the
can
chat, but you can't type in the chat.
You can
Yeah,
type.
Mataji, we can't
Oh
reply.
yeah,
We can see, but we can't type.
you're the co-host, Amma. So you can type in the chat because you're the co-host. The host actually disabled
But
it.
I'm not a
Mataji, I
co-host
can.
or a host.
I'm not
I can still
hosting.
type in the chat though.
Hey,
Yeah,
I can
I'm
still
not
hey,
type.
hosting.
I'm able to do it.
I'm on a computer. That's maybe why. I'm on a computer.
So
I'm
whoever
on a
can
computer
type,
too, but it doesn't
Computer,
work.
but I can't
okay,
do it.
whoever can type in the chat, type now. Yes, in the chat.
What do we have to type right now, Mataji?
Yes, I can. I'm asking you if you can type in the chat. You can reply yes in the chat.
Mataji, nobody can because it's disabled.
Oh, it's disabled.
Mataji, I think they can still do to the host. They can do to the host, not to the private. You can only do it to the Lalitangi Mataji. Can you try that?
No, we can't type to
Okay,
anyone.
I will change the setting.
We
Okay, I
can't
will
type anything.
Chat's disabled.
Okay. Oh, okay.
host and
See, I
co-host
can.
only. Now
Mataji,
you
you
check
have
it.
to
Can
enable
you
the
do it
chat.
now?
I can actually type in the chat.
Yes, now you can type it. Please go ahead and type to Lalitangi Mataji so that answers are not copied and pasted.
Yeah.
Mataji,
Go ahead.
Mataji, I still can't type.
Yes,
I still
Type
can't type
only to
it.
everyone. I can type
Yeah.
only to everyone.
Okay, can you type? Whoever can type, can you type? Let me see if I can see that.
I just typed. I
I
just
typed it, Mataji, but I don't think anyone can see it except for you, Mataji.
Mataji,
I
I'm not
can
able to
see
see it
either.
except you.
Oh, I can type, but no one can see it then.
Yeah,
I
I
can't type, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. I
Mataji, can we just do it verbally so we can just raise our hand and you
That's
can.
Now I put to everyone, Mataji. I think now it will work. Can everybody try? One time, please.
I still can't.
It's still disabled, Mataji.
okay.
Yeah,
No
it's still
problem.
disabled.
Can you see my chat?
Yeah, we can see
I can
you.
see yours. No, Mataji, I cannot see your chat.
Did you just type Hari Bol?
Yes, I just typed Haribol Sanvi. Yes.
Yeah, then we can see it.
Oh, yes, actually.
Okay, no problem. Maybe the settings may need to change after our meeting is done. So I'm going to ask you questions and you can answer me. Okay, but I'm going to pick whoever wants to answer the questions, raise your hands. Then I will answer each one of you. Okay. So
49 minutes.
yeah, my question is.
We're gonna surprise Sakubir. We're gonna come to Charlotte.
Adam Bitwam means what? And this question goes to Sai Vedas.
I don't remember.
Yes,
Adam Bitwam.
oh, what does it mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, Mataji.
Okay, don't worry.
Mataji, this is Prahlad, I know.
Okay, Prahlad, go ahead.
It is pridelessness.
Okay, good, Prahlad. Okay, the next question goes to Vikyat.
Can you call on me, Amma, too?
So Vikyat, the question is, why should we accept a spiritual master?
Because without the instructions of the spiritual master, we cannot progress in spiritual life.
Wonderful answer, Vikyat. Good job. Wonderful answer. Okay.
Thank you.
And this is true or false question that goes to Saina. External cleanliness is got about by chanting the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
This is false, Mataji. The external cleanliness is attained by doing like things like showering, brushing, putting on fresh clothes.
Very good, Saina. Good job. Okay. The next question goes to Sanvi. The question is, so when we chant, blank from the mind, no, when we chant blank, fill in the blanks, okay? Blank is getting cleansed.
When we chant, our heart is getting cleansed, Mataji.
Very good. Consciousness, our heart, our mind is getting cleansed. Okay, the next question goes to
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So next question goes to who was raised there? Krishna Chaitanya. What is required to make, what is a quality that is required to make progress in spiritual path?
Steadiness.
Very good. Can you give an example of steadiness, Krishna Chaitanya?
Like you'll always be committed to doing a certain amount. You'll remain means steady path means you'll not like take breaks or anything. You'll go slow and steady.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah. So you go slow, you go steady every single day. Okay. Then the next question is, what does Atma Vinigraha mean? And explain one situation in your life where you needed to execute self-control. Anshu.
Yes, Mataji.
Oh, were you there in the class? Okay, so do you know what does Atma Vinigraha mean?
Atma Vinigraha
is self-control. Okay, maybe you missed that class. Okay, so can you explain a practical situation where you have to exercise self-control?
So like let's say that like you have like friends who are like grown-ups. No, not your friends, but like someone has friends who are like grown-ups and like they go out to parties, but they do some like with like cigarettes and stuff. You have to, and they try to like involve you also, and you're like, no, I'm not doing that.
Wonderful, Anshu. Very, very good. Yes, that's very true. Okay, thank you for the answer. Okay, I think, okay, what are the two instructions that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave to Srila Prabhupada?
Can Saina say, Mataji?
Yes, Saina. Saina, you can say one instruction and Mukund can say the other one.
Okay, Mataji. One instruction was that you need to go to countries like America and France and Western countries like that and spread Krishna consciousness and make sure they also chant the holy names. Hare Krishna.
Very good, Saina. And Mukund?
The other instruction was that how much ever money Prabhupada earned, he has to print books out of that.
Very good, Mukund. Yes, thank you. Okay, so the next question is, okay, this question goes to Sai Vedas. What is the most difficult sense organ to control? And then how can you control that?
Sense of taste.
Very good, Sai Vedas. So basically, sense organ is tongue. It's very hard to control the
Yes,
taste. Yeah. So how can you control?
eat. You can eat Mahaprasadam.
Yes, Sai Vedas. You can eat. Mahaprasadam is milk sweets and it is so good, right? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So we had a good time. I'm sorry I couldn't make Kahoot today. So sometimes we will have Kahoot or sometimes we will have questions like this. Okay, next time we will keep the chat open so that you can also chat, type the answers to me. Do you have any questions?
You missed me, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
Okay, I'm sorry I couldn't call everyone because we are time up already. So we will again meet in the next class. Okay. Till then, will you every day will you chant Hare Krishna, everyone?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna,
Please keep
Mataji.
chanting
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Keep the transcendental
Hare
vibration.
Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji.
Thank you.
See you all next time.
Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. See
Hare
you. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Thank
Mataji.
you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna,
Hari Bol.
Mataji. Hare
Next
Krishna.
call,
Thank you.
Mataji. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji.